I'm Vanessa Parli. I lead the research programs here at HAI, and I will be your MC for the day. So today we come together to explore the exciting intersection of robotics and AI. We have speakers from academia, from industry, and from research institutes, and they will be sharing the cutting-edge work across the field. We encourage you to actively engage with the speakers during Q&A, during the breaks, over lunch, and at the reception later this evening. And then also during lunch, we have robot demonstrations out in the pavilion, and those are from the Stanford Robotics Center. Without further delay, I will be inviting Professor James Landay to the stage for some brief opening remarks. James is the HAI Denning co-director and Anand, Rajaraman, and Venky Harinarayan Professor of Computer Science here at Stanford University. And I've had the pleasure of working with James over the past 5 years. I can attest to his commitment to ensuring that this technology benefits all of humanity, and I can think of no better person to co-lead an institute like HAI. So welcome, James.
Thank you, Vanessa. HAI was founded in 2019 with a bold vision to ensure that technology serves humanity and that its benefits are broadly shared. From the very beginning, this vision has been guided by 3 core principles. H, the human impact of AI is profound. This means that we must consider ethical questions not just after AI is developed, but throughout the entire process, before, during, and after deployment. A, AI will reshape work. Our focus should be on the applications of AI and how they can augment rather than replace humans. AI should help people become better learners, better healthcare providers, or better designers. I, the human brain is the most complex device in the known universe, and we should leverage what we learn about it to inform future AI systems, while also using AI to deepen our understanding of the brain itself. When HAI was launched in 2019, the idea of human-centered AI was still emerging. Since then, numerous institutes and research centers have taken up the cause of responsible AI, AI for good, and human-centered AI. Yet there's no single definition of what it means to do responsible AI. Just claiming to work on AI for good isn't enough. That's why we've developed a framework for what human-centered AI should be. It starts with a user-centered process, drawing from well-established techniques in human-computer interaction and design. But designing AI solely for the individual isn't enough. Imagine designing a sentencing system only for judges without considering the communities it affects, the accused individuals, their families, or the broader legal system. AI must account for diverse perspectives, structural barriers, and real-world impacts. Beyond individual users, we must also understand AI's societal effects. We need to anticipate how widespread adoption might reshape industries, communities, and public trust, and design systems that proactively address these challenges. This approach requires diverse perspectives. At HAI, our mission is to elevate AI research beyond academia, empowering leaders across industry, government, and civil society with cutting-edge knowledge. We need collaboration across disciplines and sectors to shape the future of AI responsibly. So with so much happening in AI, why focus on robotics today? Because robotics represents a critical frontier where computational intelligence meets the physical world. Robots are now performing complex tasks in unstructured environments, from surgical suites to disaster zones. Unlike purely digital AI, robots interact physically with people, making user experience, safety, and ethical considerations impossible to ignore. Robotics forces us to confront fundamental questions of agency, responsibility, and human-machine collaboration in tangible ways. Throughout today's discussions, I encourage you to not just think about what AI-powered robots can do, but how they should be designed to enhance human potential, align with our values, and distribute their benefits to society. Given the importance of robotics, I'm happy to announce that today we're renaming the Institute human-centered AI, robotic-centered AI, AKA Hi Ray. Happy April Fools. Okay, so thank you all for being here. It's now my pleasure to introduce my colleague, Professor Dorsa Sadigh. Dorsa is an associate professor of computer science at Stanford University, a newly minted senior fellow of HAI, and a leading researcher at the intersection of robotics, machine learning, and human-AI interaction. She's also played a pivotal role as one of the organizers of this conference. Please join me in welcoming Professor Dorsa Sadigh.
All right, thank you, James. I'm thrilled to welcome all of you guys here for this Robotics Symposium as part of the HAI Spring Symposium. So to just get started, I would like to first give a shout out to my wonderful co-organizers, Allison and Karen, sitting right there. It's been really wonderful to be working with Allison, Karen, and also all of the HAI team over the past month to organize this event, think about like all the wonderful speakers that we have today, and just to briefly introduce them a little bit more and talk a little bit about their research. Karen is a professor in computer science. Her work is in robotics and in computer graphics. And a lot of her work is focused on developing embodied agents, embodied intelligence, when we think about human characters, simulated human characters, as well as real humanoids. So she'll be speaking later today as part of moderating one of the panels. She'll be around if you want to talk to her about any of these topics. Allison is a professor in mechanical engineering. Her research is focused on soft robotics, thinking about haptics, wearable haptics, looking at robotic surgery, and thinking about teleoperation and medical robotics. And she'll also be moderating one of the panels later today, and also will be around throughout the day. So you can get a chance to chat with her. And I'm also one of the other co-organizers. I'm Dorsa. I'm a faculty in computer science and electrical engineering. I'm also an HAI senior fellow. One day a week I also spend at Google DeepMind in the robotics team, so sometimes I wear my Google hat. And just to briefly mention some of my work, I'm very interested in thinking about leveraging and building robotics foundation models and thinking about all the way from pre-training to post-training, how we could build these types of models that could really interact with people. So one particular angle towards my work is thinking about the interaction with humans. I come from a human-robot interaction background. And just to briefly highlight some of the works in my lab, we've been looking at ways of scaling up data collection for robotics foundation models, but with kind of like a human-centered lens in mind, and thinking about crowdsourcing and incentive design for data collection. Some of the other projects that we have been looking at in the lab is focused on things like vocal sandbox, where we have a robot interacting with the human, learning from human instructions. And this robot is powered by VLMs and VLAs, but is able to actually do kind of like new types of tasks. In this setting, we are looking at building a stop Lego motion video, as you see in the top. You see in this video Jen. Jen later today is doing the demos with the quadruped, so you could say hi to her. And then I'm also very interested in, again, like interactive, real, like physical interactions with humans. Some of the work in my lab is focused on assistive feeding. How do we bring food to a person's mouth, transfer that inside a person's mouth in a way that is safe and comfortable? So that was just a quick highlight of the different organizers and the organizing team and what they were working on. But when we were thinking about organizing this event, we were kind of like considering, where is robotics today? So where is robotics today? Why are we excited about robotics? And I'd argue one of the reasons that I'm personally excited about robotics today is this bridge between computational AI and physical intelligence. We are finally at a stage where we could think about advances in AI, advances in large language models, foundation models, and how they can influence physical robotic systems that make actions. And this is due to advances in hardware. I think we see a new humanoid company every other day, but also even going beyond humanoids. We've seen a lot of advances in hardware, cheap hardware, being able to do iterations over hardware, and that has been really exciting for robotics. And another reason is the advances in computational AI that I was kind of like touching upon earlier. Just to wear my Google hat for a second, Gemini Robotics actually was released last week. And I wanted to show this video because this is an uncut video of me interacting with the robot between my meetings, because I spent like Thursdays there and I had half an hour. I was like, I want to like shoot a video with this robot. And this is not a clean video. This is a setting where I'm interacting with this robot. It does make mistakes. And I kind of like wanted to show this really quickly. It's a minute or two. Hello, Gemini. Hello, Gemini.
Hello, how can I help you?
I'm gonna do some cleanup today. Can you pick up the blue socks and put them in the gray basket? And the thing that was exciting to me was the toys and the stuff that you see on the desk here. These were from my home. I grabbed them in the morning. I have a 10-month-old. These are the toys for my son. That robot is actually what one of my students got him, like when he was born. And I just like bring in these completely out of distribution objects, like throw it in front of the robot, and I can interact with it. I can actually get the robot to kind of like follow my instructions in real time. This is autonomous real time. This is not sped up. This is, again, not like a kind of like fancy video that you take and you clean it up.
What do you think I'm drawing?
The drawing looks like a robot.
That's right. Can you pick up the robot and put that in the gray basket?
Okay, I will pick up the robot and put it in the gray basket.
And the robot is a little too large for the things that it has seen the data for picking up, so it does make mistakes, but it retries, it corrects itself. It like does handovers. And again, like that part of it, like the fact that this robot can do anything with this completely out of distribution setting, and this is again Gemini trained with action data, was really exciting.
Welcome. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Yes. I'm making something. Can you tell what I'm making?
I'm making the only origami that I can ever make.
That's right.
Okay, is there anything else I can do for you?
Yeah. So the piece of paper that I'm folding, what do you think it is?
It looks like you are making a paper airplane.
It's not a paper airplane.
That's right. Is there anything else I can help with?
What do you think it is? If it is not a paper airplane, what did I just make?
You made a paper boat.
I made a paper boat. Can you pick up the paper boat and put that in the basket?
Genuinely surprised that it found out it was a paper boat. And again, you see the robot goes for the paper boat before even I ask
right
it.
there.
So again, it's not perfect. The reason it does that is I asked it to pick up a lot of things, and that is in context. And it kind of like goes for picking.
Can you read again?
All right. Thank you, Gemini.
Thank you, Gemini.
So I was pretty excited about this. I think like if you show this to any roboticists, like, and the roboticists who have worked in robot learning, they would be excited about something like this. I was chatting with Jeanette. I keep like coding her on this. But I was chatting with her when like these types of models were being put out. I think Pi Zero model was put out like around the same week. And I really liked the way she put it. Like she was like, it's kind of like surreal. Like this is the first time I can download something off internet and it can do something kind of reasonable. And I do think this is pretty exciting that we could have these types of interactions with the robot. Again, it's not perfect. It's not controlling a giant humanoid like in completely out of distribution settings, but you got to look at the trajectory of it. And that is the thing that, again, gets me excited about robotics today. And like, having that in mind, the question that we had as part of today's agenda and as part of the symposium was, what are the implications and innovations in robotics that we could think about in our human-centered world when we have these robots thinking about interactions with humans? And as we were putting together the agenda for today, we decided to put together a number of highlight sessions with wonderful distinguished speakers from academia and industry. So we have a number of highlight sessions in the morning. We have Jeanette, Carol, and Feifei. Later in the afternoon, we have Dieter, Lydia, and Monroe. And in addition to that, we have 3 panels throughout the day. So our first panel is focused on pushing the frontiers of robotics AI. We have Chelsea, Wendy, and Dhruv speaking at that panel. And then we are going to talk about from research to real-world impact. So we'll have Peter, Charlie, and Andrea speaking at that panel. And then finally, our last panel is focused on societal impacts of robots in our human-centered world. And we have Stephen, Steffi, Londa, and Amy speaking at that panel. Right before lunch, we'll have Osama coming and talking a little bit about the Stanford Robotics Center. This event is organized by HAI and Stanford Robotics Center. So we'll be talking about some of the new advancements in SRC and some of the future directions in that setting. And we have 2 wonderful keynote speeches today. So in the afternoon, we have Maya Materik talking about robots among us. I'm really excited about that. And that brings me to the keynote this morning, and that brings me to Rodney's talk. So Rodney will be talking about robotics, the push and pull of ideas and applications.